Appear weak when you are strong, and strong when you are weak. The supreme art of war is to subdue the enemy without fighting. If you know the enemy and know yourself, you need not fear the result of 100 battles. If you know yourself but not the enemy, for every victory gained you will also suffer a defeat. If you know neither the enemy nor yourself, you will succumb in every battle. Let your plans be dark and impenetrable as night, and when you move, fall like a thunderbolt. Supreme excellence consists of breaking the enemy's resistance without fighting. In the midst of chaos, there is also opportunity. All warfare is based on deception. Hence, when we are able to attack, we must seem unable. When using our forces, we must appear inactive. When we are near, we must make the enemy believe we are far away. When far away, we must make him believe we are near. Victorious warriors win first and then go to war, while defeated warriors go to war first and then seek to win. If your enemy is secure at all points, be prepared for him. If he is in superior strength, evade him. If your opponent is temperamental, seek to irritate him. Pretend to be weak, that he may grow arrogant. If he is taking his ease, give him no rest. If his forces are united, separate them. If sovereign and subject are in accord, put division between them. Attack him where he is unprepared. Appear where you are not expected. The greatest victory is that which requires no battle. To know your enemy, you must become your enemy. Engage people with what they expect. It is what they are able to discern and confirms their projections. It settles them into predictable patterns of response, occupying their minds while you wait for the extraordinary moment, that which they cannot anticipate. There is no instance of a nation benefiting from prolonged warfare. Treat your men as you would your own beloved sons, and they will follow you into the deepest valley. Even the finest sword plunged into salt water will eventually rust. Move swift as the wind and closely formed as the wood. Attack like the fire and be still as the mountain. When you surround an army, leave an outlet free. Do not press a desperate foe too hard. Opportunities multiply as they are seized. The art of war is of vital importance to the state. It is a matter of life and death, a road either to safety or to ruin. Hence, it is a subject of inquiry which can on no account be neglected. When the enemy is relaxed, make them toil. When full, starve them. When settled, make them move. Who wishes to fight must first count the cost. If you wait by the river long enough, the bodies of your enemies will float by. Know yourself, and you will win all battles. To win 100 victories in 100 battles is not the acme of skill. To subdue the enemy without fighting is the acme of skill. So in war, the way is to avoid what is strong and strike at what is weak. Be extremely subtle even to the point of formlessness. Be extremely mysterious even to the point of soundlessness. Thereby you can be the director of the opponent's fate. Build your opponent a golden bridge to retreat across. When strong, avoid them. If of high morale, depress them. Seem humble to fill them with conceit. If at ease, exhaust them. If united, separate them. Attack their weaknesses. Emerge to their surprise. The wise warrior avoids the battle. The whole secret lies in confusing the enemy, so that he cannot fathom our real intent. What the ancients called a clever fighter is one who not only wins, but excels in winning with ease. One may know how to conquer without being able to do it. One mark of a great soldier is that he fight on his own terms or fights not at all. If you know the enemy and know yourself, your victory will not stand in doubt. If you know heaven and know earth, you may make your victory complete. You have to believe in yourself. He who is prudent and lies in wait for an enemy who is not, will be victorious. If the mind is willing, the flesh could go on and on without many things. If your opponent is of choleric temper, seek to irritate him. Pretend to be weak, that he may grow arrogant. Attack is the secret of defense. Defense is the planning of an attack. Thus the expert in battle moves the enemy, and is not moved by him. Anger may in time change to gladness. Vexation may be succeeded by content. But a kingdom that has once been destroyed can never come again into being, nor can the dead ever be brought back to life. There are roads which must not be followed, armies which must not be attacked, towns which must not be besieged, positions which must not be contested, commands of the sovereign which must not be obeyed. When one treats people with benevolence, justice, and righteousness, and reposes confidence in them, the army will be united in mind, and all will be happy to serve their leaders. Great results can be achieved with small forces. Attack him where he is unprepared, appear where you are not expected. Pretend inferiority and encourage his arrogance. Convince your enemy that he will gain very little by attacking you. This will diminish his enthusiasm. Ponder and deliberate before you make a move. If quick, I survive. If not quick, I am lost. This is death. Knowing the enemy enables you to take the offensive. Knowing yourself enables you to stand on the defensive. Ultimate excellence lies not in winning every battle, but in defeating the enemy without ever fighting. He will win who knows when to fight and when not to fight. To secure ourselves against defeat lies in our own hands, but the opportunity of defeating the enemy is provided by the enemy himself. Bravery without forethought causes a man to fight blindly and desperately like a mad bull. Such an opponent must not be encountered with brute force, but may be lured into an ambush and slain. If ignorant both of your enemy and yourself, you are certain to be in peril. Mystify, mislead, and surprise the enemy. The general who advances without coveting fame and retreats without fearing disgrace, whose only thought is to protect his country and do good service for his sovereign, is the jewel of the kingdom. Wheels of justice grind slow, but grind fine. It is easy to love your friend, but sometimes the hardest lesson to learn is to love your enemy. Move not unless you see an advantage. Use not your troops unless there is something to be gained. Fight not unless the position is critical. He will win who, prepared himself, waits to take the enemy unprepared. Never venture, never win. Be where your enemy is not. If he sends reinforcements everywhere, he will everywhere be weak. If his forces are united, separate them. Begin by seizing something which your opponent holds dear, then he will be amenable to your will. Plan for what it is difficult while it is easy. Do what is great while it is small. Water shapes its course according to the nature of the ground over which it flows. The soldier works out his victory in relation to the foe whom he is facing. Every battle is won before it's ever fought. Disorder came from order, fear came from courage, weakness came from strength. Rewards for good service should not be deferred a single day. But a kingdom that has once been destroyed can never come again into being, nor can the dead ever be brought back to life. Know your enemy and know yourself, and you can fight 100 battles without disaster. To fight and conquer in all your battles is not supreme excellence. Supreme excellence consists in breaking the enemy's resistance without fighting. If words of command are not clear and distinct, if orders are not thoroughly understood, then the general is to blame. But if orders are clear and the soldiers nevertheless disobey, then it is the fault of their officers. The opportunity of defeating the enemy is provided by the enemy himself. Who does not know the evils of war cannot appreciate its benefits. It is only the enlightened ruler and the wise general who will use the highest intelligence of the army for the purposes of spying, and thereby they achieve great results. Conform to the enemy's tactics until a favorable opportunity offers. Then come forth and engage in a battle that shall prove decisive. Therefore, just as water retains no constant shape, so in warfare there are no constant conditions. When your army has crossed the border, you should burn your boats and bridges, to make it clear to everybody that you have no hankering after home. If you know yourself but not the enemy, for every victory gained you will also suffer a defeat. Therefore, just as water retains no constant shape, so in warfare there are no constant conditions. When your army has crossed the border, you should burn your boats and bridges, to make it clear to everybody that you have no hankering after home. If you know yourself but not the enemy, for every victory gained you will also suffer a defeat.